from Susquehanna County, United PA, and the PA Patriot Coalition, Mr. Sam Faddis.
Thank you, Dan. Real quick, because I think we want to get on to the main event, which is talking to the Freedom Caucus here and asking them some questions. I am both the president of my local group, Unite PA, and the current president of the Pennsylvania Patriot Coalition, which is roughly, depending on how you count, 100 groups across the state of Pennsylvania. So I want to concentrate my comments just for a couple of minutes on the coalition perspective. And this is my real quick synopsis of the history of the Patriot movement in the state of Pennsylvania. Everybody woke up individually in fits and starts like we've all experienced over the course of a number of years and kind of figured out that things were messed up, to use a technical term. And then they began to organize, usually with some sort of ad hoc approach like we did in Susquehanna County, which means 8 of us got together and started drinking beer in my living room and coming up with ideas, and that was probably the closest we had to a mission statement. And then you organized all across the state of Pennsylvania and made a whole bunch of noise. And implicit, without even thinking about it, in that effort was the idea that they, whoever they is exactly, has to respond to you and answer to you. I got news for you. Most of you have figured this out already. They answered. In the interest of staying in polite company, the answer was drop dead. We don't think you got what it takes. We don't think you're a threat to us. Brian Cutler would be the poster boy for that, right? So now the question is, what are you going to do about it? To quote Sean Connery from The Untouchables. And no, that's not Sam saying throw somebody off of a building or shoot somebody in a train station, for those of you who know the movie. The point is, what are you going to do about it? And my comment would begin, my answer to that would begin with, this is what you can't do about it. You can't wait for somebody else to do it. Those of you old enough, I'm not, despite Trevor's comments about me, to remember old cowboy movies. At the end, the cavalry always comes and saves you. The cavalry ain't coming, people. If you want to know who's going to save you, look around the room. Right? Stop waiting for the man on the white horse. Stop waiting for Donald Trump. It's not a knock on the president. I support him. I will support him. I will campaign for him. But nobody by themselves is going to fix this problem. Stop engaging in magical thinking. The Joint Chiefs are not going to stage a coup tomorrow and put Donald Trump back in the White House. People actually propose that to me multiple times a week. Donald Trump is not still secretly president, and this is a charade. Nobody's going to file a lawsuit tomorrow, and the Supreme Court's going to overturn the 2020 election and throw Joe Biden in prison, although God knows he needs to be there, and by the way, give you a check for $20,000. That ain't going to happen, all right? I'm maybe the biggest critic on the planet of Joe Biden, since I accuse him, as Trevor is well aware, of being a Chinese spy about every 30 seconds. The point is, we're going to fix it the old-fashioned way at every level. Stop asking people to do things for you who are not listening and replace them. The panel we're going to bring up here consists of individuals who made that decision, got in the fight, and are actually part of the process. Mr. Nisley, that's sitting right here, taking on Brian Cutler. This is the answer. You take control of the machine at every level. And stop making it impossible. Nobody's telling you all by yourself, you got to go do this. Teddy Roosevelt 120 years ago described it this way, which is almost the exact same words used by JR. Do what you can where you are with what you have. Grab a hold, precinct level, school board, everything, get in the game. What matters is what you do when you leave this room. And again, you've already heard people say all of this. You gotta stop talking just to each other. I get it that gets comfortable in a hostile environment to go sit around and have a meeting with 30 or 40 people and they all think like you. That won't win the fight, right? Talk about the Latino community earlier as an example, right? People that are faith-oriented, family-oriented, largely from places where there is no such thing as a social welfare system. Any reason on earth why those people overwhelmingly should not be voting for conservatives? The only reason is because we're not taking the time to go talk to them and convince them. Okay, I think we're